Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Referral Exchange Networking's Business Success Fertilizer application. Actually, we have a new name for our weekly educational segments. From now on, we're going to call them enrichments, business enrichments. So in this week's business enrichment, we want to talk about things that are getting better. Now, it could be premature, but I'm going out on a limb. And I'm going to say that with the exception of all the non-COVID craziness that's going on in the world, it would appear that things are actually getting back to normal. This also applies to networking. I know we've had false starts, but I think this is the real thing. Now, if that's true, what should we be doing? Well, specifically, what we should be doing to grow our businesses is networking. I know that in referral exchange, we've been networking, but we need to spread our wings, all of us, just a little bit. Now, if referral exchange is the only networking you're doing, well, you're not doing it right. The more you network, the more people you meet, and the better networking referral partners you'll be. You may want to start out slow, avoid the bends from going too deep, too fast. Besides referral exchange, you should be attending open networking events, including chambers, non-aligned events, professional organizations. Additionally, being involved in volunteer organizations is a great way to meet people with similar interests, and that immediately establishes common ground. Now, for those of us who may feel a little rusty, I thought it would be good to discuss some of the basics. Now, I attended a seminar last week on networking delivered by Bob Salvis. Bob is one of the premier networking specialists in the Northeast. So when he talks about networking, it's worth listening to. One of the key principles we need to remember that Bob emphasized is networking is not selling. If you go to a networking event looking to sell your products or your services, you're not going to be successful. Networking is all about building relationships. As Bob points out, the goal of networking shouldn't be to sell, but to become known as a connector. The more people you know, especially people outside of your own professional sphere, the better you'll be at connecting people. As Tim Sanders says in his great book, Love is the Killer App. The more connections you develop, the more people you can help. You then become a rich source of information. You're seen as a person with valuable insight, and you're recognized as someone who is generous to a fault. In short, you become one of those amazing, outstanding people to whom everyone turns, who leads rather than follows, and who never runs out of ideas, contacts, or friendships. But you can't do that if you're not out there. Now, all this having been said, don't forget to maintain your social media presence. As with networking, think of social media as another way to make connections and to build relationships, not to sell. When using social media to build relationships, it's all about value. Don't ask for stuff, give. Give ideas, information, expertise, advice. Don't worry about what you may get in return. To quote Tim Sanders again, relationships are like bank accounts. Make deposits before you make withdrawals. One last thought, don't be a wallflower. I understand that some of you may be introverts, and you prefer to maintain your distance at social events. Well, if you find this difficult to overcome, be sure to bring a friend to the event. Now, this isn't to say that you should spend the entire time with this one person. However, it will help you get through the door, and it will swell your confidence level. After all, once you're there, you might as well meet people, right? And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Lastly, when you're networking, if you're talking more than you're listening, you're not doing it right. As Frank Tiger, cartoonist, humorist, and columnist for the Trenton Times said, Be a good listener. Your ears will never get you in trouble. Or, as said by Calvin Coolidge, 30th President of the United States and the only one from Vermont, Silent Cal said, "No man ever listened himself out of a job." Well, that's it for this week. I hope you all get something out of it. If you'd like to talk about anything you just heard, or you'd like to know how you can grow your business by joining a referral exchange networking chapter, or even how to start your own chapter, reach out to me at raustin@referralexchangenetworking.com. That's exchange with an X. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of this video. Well, folks, once again, I hope you got something out of that, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.